Hi, and welcome back to Quinwapa Creations. How to make beaded turtle keychains, part 2. This is the second video in this series, and this will have show you how to put the keychain together. The first video showed you how to do the beadwork, and now we will show you how to attach that beadwork to the leather. So the leather I use, it's about 1.5 inch strip, very thick. I believe it's cowhide leather, very stiff. So the first thing we're going to do is cut a cardboard insert around the same shape as the beadwork to put in between the beadwork and the leather, just to give it a stiffer stabilizer. When you cut the cardboard out, you're going to cut in just make it just a little bit smaller than the beadwork itself, so that you're leaving enough room on the outside of the cardboard to be able to get the needle through when you're doing your edging around. So we're just going to use some Elmer's glue and a little bit, and then spread it around. I usually use the tip of the glue to spread that around. Don't put too much on there because you don't want it oozing out while you're trying to beadwork the bead. And then you just put that cardboard in there. You can see the little edge around, and then we're going to put the beadwork onto the leather and draw around, not completely around. You're going to leave the bottom and the top open. And I'm going to, on the bottom, we're going to draw the little tail, because the tail of the turtle is out of the leather. And then the top of the strap part will be about 1/2 inch wide. And then we're going to draw the straight line that we'll use as a guide when we cut the leather into the keychain shape. So when you cut the leather, you want to make sure that you're just on the inside of the ink, because you don't want the ink to show through on any part of the keychain. So just making sure that you're getting just inside there, inside of the ink, so the keychain, the leather is the right size, but you're not seeing any of that ink. When you draw on the outline, that's just a little bigger than what it is. So when you're cutting on the inside of that ink line, then it's just the size that you need. So just cutting that all the way around and getting that strap cut out, and there's your leather for the keychain. And then the beadwork's going to sit right on top of that. So we'll just put a little glue on the back, a little drop of glue, and spread it around. Not too much, you don't want it oozing out, and you don't want it to take too long to dry. Just can leave it set for a few minutes until it's a little stable. So, and then we'll begin to put the edging and attaching the beadwork to the leather. We'll be using 4 beads. It should fit. You have come up right next to the beadwork, in between the beadwork and the leather, and then you'll go around, you'll overlap stitch and come up right next to the row before. Leave it enough room so the beads lay flat. And that 4 beads should work. And just making sure that they're all laying flat. And you're going to go around the whole outside of the turtle to edge it. When you get down to the tail, what you're going to do when you get down to the tail is you're going to stop when you're right next to the tail, and put the beads that are on the tail on there before you continue to go around the edge. So you're just going to put a 3 and a 2 and a 1, just some little basic beads on there to make that little tail. And rather than getting a lot of stitches on the back side that you can see, you can just come back up close to that middle row, go back through it, and just go down back into the leather. Just secures that row and gets you back down close to the end, to the edge where you need to be to come back up and start that outside row. And you're just going to do 2 beads at a time to over that edge, 2 beads to go over that edge into the leather to get across the tail part. And then you'll come right back up where the edging is and continue the edging all the way around until you get to the strap. And then you'll start going 2 beads at a time. You go into the beadwork all the way through to the bottom side of the leather. You come back up through right next to it, and you just put 2 more beads, and you continue that on until you get to the end, making sure that the stitches on the back are not too big. They're like right next to each other, and you'll get to the end of that. And then you're going to go back and put the little head on. The little head of the turtle is done right into the leather strap. And now that's the stitches on the head, we're going to be concerned about it because the strap is going to lap over the top of it. So you're going to just go back through and put the head beads on there. So it's basically just 3 beads, 4 beads, 5 beads, 4 and 3. Just kind of increases and decreases to create that head. And you're going to tack down each row, going in between every 2 beads, just kind of tacking it down so that it stays flat. And the 5 beads is that middle row. And then you're just going to finish that head off with 4 and 3. And then there's the head of your turtle. And that finishes attaching the turtle to the leather. And that strap will bend over and cover up the stitches that the head made. So now we're going to use our bells and attach those bells to our keychain. We're going to sew that strap down. It's real kind of tough to go through both pieces, but just kind of be careful where you're going through. You're going to get it's real thick, so I use my needle nose pliers to help I go through a straight row straight across kind of paying attention where you're going on the bead side, making sure that you're going in small stitches so you can't see it, and small stitches on the back so it's not real obvious. So you're gonna go all the way across one side and back again, so you're going to sew across twice. And then once you get back to the other side, you're going to go through the pellon, the beadwork, and come out right where you want that bell to be attached to the beadwork. And you'll come through and you'll be right on the end of that row, and you're going to go down into the beadwork but come out through the middle of the beadwork and the leather. And then that's where you'll attach your bell. And you're going to go over one row, go in through, in between the leather and the beadwork, go back down and come out between the leather and the beadwork, and you'll go through the bell again. And I usually go 3 times to really make sure that the bell is attached. And then I go all the way across to the other end of the body, making sure I'm going through the pellon beadwork, and that's where I attach the turtle on the bottom side of it, going over one row, in through the beadwork and the leather, and coming out on top of the beadwork, go back through, and 3 times, making sure it's attached. Tie my knot, I push it, make sure it's down in between rows of beads so you can't see the knot. Just gonna make sure it's pushed in there. And that's the bells on the one side. Snip that off. And then to put the bells on the other side, you're going to kind of go right across in the same area, coming up through the beadwork, in between the beadwork and the leather. Go back down, come out where you want that bell to be attached. Secure the bell to the beadwork. Go all the way, put it through the beadwork all the way to the other end of the body where you want that other bell. Then the bells are not attached singly and fall off singly. They're kind of secure by going through that beadwork the way you did. Up through the beadwork, attach the bell, secure it another 2 times, and then you're going to tie it off. Make sure that your knot is in between the rows so you can't see it. And you have a turtle keychain. All right, thank you. Thanks for stopping by. This was kind of a little fun one. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and I hope to see you back again for our next demonstration tutorial. Thank you. The kits available for this tutorial will include the bells, the leather, and the keychain rings on the website. Stop by. Thank you.